Mwaikale mwe male banisi pa mkuba. Na mwikala fe kuino. Chungulo mkwai. Nkuisa mle ntambila. Mwe male tamba. Nkuisa mle ntambila. Chungulo mkwai. Mwaikale ni mwe wekala chalo. Mwaikale na changu fobu na wakuisa live lelo. But then I've always said I have to. Yesterday I was live because of the breaking news Kalaba bomb and Lusambo. That's why I went. But I always want to go live per Friday. Every Friday catch me per 17 hours Zambian time. And 16 hours UK time. Miracle! Yes, my president. Yes, comrade. Achani. We're changing the narratives, my brother. Musonko, watching you from Kafiwe. Kafiwe, Kurishanu Kafuoko. Bwanji Kafiwe. Yeah. So, like I said, yesterday I was trying to bring some of you live so that we have a discussion. But I've had a request that network is so you can try to be to involve yourself through messaging here, as well as requesting to be in the live video and just air your views, air your opinions on the topics that we're about to start discussing. Gift Daka, watching you from the capital of Zambia, Barusaka, Mribwanji, Bakalurush, Kopa Beoti, Shani, Kopa Beoti, Go, Ngoma, Chaku. Mulishani, Mwema Lebanese. Okay, so, if you so lero tulelanda twalamba face walanda kopadi ba President Harry Kalaba twalalanda kopadi President Harry Kalaba, and then also twalanda kuwika controversial incident kaba Madam Mary Chirwa. And you know nani nkani yaba Madam Mary Chirwa, it's very sensitive for me to talk about it because she's a woman and I'm a woman as well. So yeah, I've got mixed feelings, but at the end of the day, it has to be talked about because we've had incidences in the past of similar nature, whereby fiat and reactions from others has been different to the reactions they're giving now. So, in all fairness, we can't run away from that. We have to talk about it, and I'll state my opinion on that as a woman, but also give my opinion as a professional, as a woman as well as a professional. Who, those are the kind of opinions. Then from there to alala ndakopali ba honorable Shakafuswa na ba honorable Kangombe aba winina ama seats yabo aya inalified. They've retained their seats to alala ndakopali versus the different reaction from yesterday from the UPND supporters, and also from yesterday when Honorable Bowman lost his seat, as well as the reaction today when Honorable Christopher Kangombe and Shakafuso retained their seat. So we're going to contrast those two reactions, and we should tackle them and talk about those two reactions. Then the last thing on the list that we're going to talk about is the recruitment of health workers, which, by the way, congratulations to the new Dawn government for recruiting those workers, but also we're going to talk about the criteria that has been used, because some of the people don't really understand what criteria has been used for health recruitment. So FYO. So here we don't insult, we don't, we just talk about issues as they are. And the information is there if you care to look around. Sir Patrick, watching you from Chingola, Chingola Laka, Chawa Metro. So FYO, so you can, another thing, this page has been monetized through stars. So for those guys, support, so I keep on making these videos, you can send me stars. I think it's only been monetized through stars, but I know you don't necessarily need to send me, but with the plans that I have, I need some support. So you can support me through sending some stars. And I think when you send a star, your comment will be pinned on my live videos. So yeah, support me by doing that. Send me some stars, so that we can make a difference in our country. So anyway, let's begin. So before I begin, how do you guys, Kombe, how are you, my dear friend? I'm good, thank you. So how do you guys look at the future for President Kalaba? Like the future, like his political career. How do you, because I was just reading is when he resigned as foreign affairs minister during PF 2018, and then he formed his own, I don't know if he formed his own party or he just went there and became president, because now there's so much controversy. Could be about NDC. Oh, sorry, not about NDC, but DP. NDC was for Chimbakambwili. So how do you look at Uncle Harry's political career? You can write in your comments. For me, my views on that is like, it's hard to know the direction where Uncle Harry is like going, considering the fact that there are so many political parties, which I get, but at the same time, it's like everybody wants to be a president in Zambia. Like, we all want to be presidents in Zambia. But at the same time, people that have been in the game for so long, for us, we're young, we're just getting in the game. So I think it makes sense for somebody to start their own political party when they're young. You understand? But for people that have worked in different governments, different from MMD to PF, and then they form their own political party, I just find a bit hard to believe in their agenda when they've been in the game for so long. And you know, if you want to change something, like I said yesterday, it doesn't necessarily that you have to be in office or be a president to change something. I think change starts gradually, like through just being who you are, helping out people. That's change as well. But it seems like everybody wants to be president, and we all know, yes, we can try to be president, but at the same time, there are possibilities of where you just think, you know, sometimes it's better to back someone. You know what I mean? Because now, I don't know if Uncle Harry is going to create his own political party. And obviously, those supporters that were supporting Mudipi, and I think it's a good thing he resigned Mudipi because there was so much fear, and I think it's a good thing. But at the same time, you know, why can't he just probably choose a political party to work with? I think it would be easier that way. And then than him creating another political party. Also having like KBF. KBF is also going to launch his own political party after being in alliance with UPND. Is out now and then he's forming his own political party. So I just find it hard to believe in people's agenda that have been working with, like I've been in different governments, like for example, President Harry Kalaba has worked more MMD, has worked more PF, and then now his political career seems shaken and things like that. So it's hard for me to believe in his ideologies, in the way, is it just like, but if I talk about presidency, or it's confusing. So unless maybe they give us their manifesto, they give us their agenda, maybe we can start believing. But at the same time, it's hard to keep up with these political parties when there's so much confusion going on. Like for example, you can keep up with, though I'm still shocked. Those supporters was following Kalaba. If you don't know, boy, wait and see. I think so, because I think all those people in DP, I agree with you. I think, and I think they are going to go with him. They are going to go with him. But at the same time, what was the point of it? You could have just formed his own political party there and then. You could have Kulandalanda, Shana Shani. Let him first assess the situation, then form a party, or he may join one political party and boost it. I think it's a good idea, because at the moment, opposition baba strong. Baba strong at the moment, opposition. So for them, it will be hard for 2026. Opposition. So I also agree with you. Looking at the situation, I think he can just find a political party who he can join with, and those supporters of him from DP. Because DP and Alabenikov, she didn't say that for it. Where. Hey, leaders like that. Labenikov, yeah, we want to move away from that. As a country, we need to move away from that. Leaders, she didn't say that for it. Where. Nakadia. Shari kula. We are trying. I'm all for supporting women, but what's wrong is wrong. She didn't say Shari Chida. And you want to be at DP Labenikov, Bari Fafumineko. Where Labenikov? You are conflicting up ballot paper on 2026. I'm just saying the truth. Labenikov, it's your democratic right. You can go ahead and whatever without Uncle Harry, but at the same time, she didn't say that one with the leaders. Chipingo Chakanya. We're trying so hard to develop a Zambia. Manase boy, kachani. Bali kwa tama PhD munse lava kachana tefinto. Boy, she didn't she didn't say now with not Jamila God. Not now guys. We all for let's support women, but not really just style. Just style now Chipingo Chakan. We're trying to create a very healthy political environment in our country. And that is a no-no. And that's why I feel like Uncle Harry did well to resign. And, you know, it's his democratic right to either join another political party or form his own political party. But I'm just saying, like, at the moment, you need the opposition to unite. Now, there's a reason I'm saying that. That's a topic for another day. But DP, now, that's important. Now, I'm going to agenda. Yeah, now, I'm first of out it. That's a mistake. She didn't say it. A leader. Shadi, it's coming. She said it. You know, Mlopo kama. Mlopo wadi kama. Ama tuku koma. No. It's not the future we want. I think that's the end of DP. if I was there, I start off a venture, or we just form cooperative. I could imagine CDF than wasting people's time. So anyway, that's all I want much to say about that. I think overall, President Harry can be a good leader if only he composes himself. I think the future is still there, but this is how political careers die, because one moment you are saying this, another moment you are saying that. Like, if you don't have a straight path where you want to lead your flocks.
Also, at the machine, it's going like.
Yeah, because it's finishing up now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be broken.
No, it's not broken. So Fyo, so it's hard to like keep up with political to keep up with politicians when Lero Balandef, Mairo Balandef, Lero Balandef, Lero Basapotef. We need a clear path. We need politicians with a clear path. This is the thing, I'm liking Sean Tembo. Sean Tembo has chosen his path. President Sean Tembo has chosen his path, and that's the path he's leading. Some of you might find him negative, but at least he's got a clear path. Now I say President Sean Tembo. Now I say he's chosen the kind of politics he wants to do. He's chosen the path he wants to go, and is sticking with that path. My Monaca. So Combat. Okay, friend, which party do you think this opposition party can just join and make strong? That question, you want me to answer? So, like, to be honest, the major political parties that we have at the moment, we have UPND, of course, and then we have PF, and then we have Socialist Party that's like growing on a fast rate. Like, but I don't even know why do you guys know that I was blocked? I was like trying to look for him, and I found myself, I can't find Dr. Fred Membe. He's blocked me. So I'm going to, if you're on his page, tag my page and say, Mutstenan block you. I have no idea what I did. I've just found myself to be blocked. So I don't know. So anyway, the three major political parties that we have UPND, of course, they're in government, and we have PF, who are the past government and now opposition, and we got also Socialist Party that's growing at a fast rate. There's something about Socialist Party though. There's something I don't believe in, which I can talk about later. Their beliefs. I love the fact that they're obviously calling out the capitalists, but at the same time, there are some things that I don't generally agree with. But if you are going to join any political party at the moment, it's PF. I'm sorry to say it's PF, because they've got the majority MPs in parliaments. So they still got the ground, So if you're going to, especially now that they're saying they're rebranding, they are having like, I'm being honest. You asked, I'm being honest. If you're going to join like any political party, looking at the number of MPs they have in parliament, and then support as well, if they can rebrand themselves better, I think that's the political party you can join. But again, Socialist Party, you cannot take away the works that the Socialist Party are doing. Like they're really doing so much. They're going, the mobilization is very well. They are there and they're growing at a fast rate. And you can see some of the PF members that have actually joined Socialist Party. So that should also tell you. And also there were like some places where they were coming second. So you can tell that this party is growing, and it's growing at a fast rate. So they're doing a very good job by Socialists. The thing is with PEP, they need a lot of groundwork. PEP need a lot of groundwork if they can just mobilize themselves. They've got the numbers, they're going up on Facebook and things like that. But if they need groundwork whereby they establish themselves on the ground and then pick it up from there. So in the next maybe 2-3 years before the 2026, they can actually, they really work hard, they can actually get themselves maybe in the 4th position. Because we had NDC, we had DP, that's so confused. The other political parties, I can't even touch them because I've not even focused on them. So if you're going to join any political party, because the thing I'm saying is, I'm looking at 2026, 2030. We might have a situation that we have here in the UK or in America where they exchange governments. Here you have the Tory government, which are the conservative, and then we've got the Labour government. So bala chinjanya, kwaisa Labour, kwaisa conservative, kwaisa Labour, kwaisa, and the possibilities of that happening in Zambia, I can see that. It's coming. So you can actually have maybe UPND, na PF uti aware. Don't say PF is dead. That's the worst mistake, and don't underrate them. They're not dead. Don't underrate them, but they still got the support. You saw what happened. So to say PF is dead when you're commissioning their projects, it's not right. It's not right. They've done some job, they've done something bad, but that's why I say, in as much as they did things bad, they've also done things that are good. And the good things that they've done, you are commissioning those good things. So let's give credit where it's due if we're going to move forward. So anyway, that's about that. Now, let's get to the hot topic. I need water. Can you turn it off, please? Turn it off. You know, good answer, beautiful girl. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you were satisfied with my answer. So now, my second topic, Madam Mary Chirwa. You know, I think you should just make a party, Madam. You have my votes. My vote is there for you, but when you become president, don't forget me. I don't forget where I come from. I'm a free like okay? The worst mistake you can make in life is forget where you come from. I'm assessing, actually, I've thought about that you've said. I'm assessing the environment. At the moment, it's not a very healthy environment. That's why I'll stick on talking until we start making like some differences in whereby we have a very healthy political environment in our society. So let's go to my next point. Madam Mary Chirwa. You know, Zambia, we need to start practicing ifishinka. And we need to start moving away from being hypocrites. So, I'll tell you this. I've seen the video. And those that are saying, no, she's not the one, stop lying. Start admitting it's shinka. This is the thing you've seen with your own eyes, but you still want to lie. The videos that we've seen, they're not videos to be proud of as a woman. You've said, and I'm not saying I don't do secret things behind, away from the camera. We're all human. This is why I said I'll talk about it as a woman, and I'll talk about it as a profession. You've seen. So we all do secret stuff in our secret closet. You've got a longer distance relationship figure, you know, and things like that. That's fine. It becomes a problem when it gets out in the general public. Then it becomes a problem. You know, we're not saying we are holy, but here there's a contradiction between professionalism as well as being a woman. And I'm a woman, and I understand how she's feeling. And if it was out, I would be embarrassed, and I'll be, I'll be upset, I'll be depressed maybe, and all sorts of things, because nobody wants to show what you do like behind closed doors in public. That's for you and your man and your whatever you do it with. You know what I mean? So it's like your secret affairs and things like that. So, as a woman, I feel it's unfortunate that that video is being circulated and it's out in the general public. I feel it's unfortunate. I feel embarrassed on her behalf. I feel sorry for her. I'm not judging her in any way, but I'm just saying, as a woman, I feel that way. But when you talk about the position she holds, by the way, let me tell you, it's her in the video. So no, she's not there. You start getting pictures of another person. That's wrong. That's very wrong. Don't do that. If you've not seen the video, keep quiet. Okay, let's not act holy. Even me, if I did to my secret things, from public, I'm not saying I don't do secret things. The best thing for me to do is, obviously, if I held a very high position in the society, is to leave that office. I'll give you an example. There was a member of parliament in the UK. And that member of parliament was actually watching porn in parliament. The story is there. Parliament. The member of parliament was watching porn on his phone. Parliament. What happened? That came out in the general public. That's what happened in parliament. That member of parliament had to resign on national interest, on moral principles, and that's what happened. So as a woman, I feel it's unfortunate, and I feel we've got a double standards as people, because looking back, we had the Minister of Education that unfortunately also had his video come out, and the same people that are now protecting the madam are the same people that condemned. I saw you saw the video that I posted. That was just the tip of the iceberg, but they condemned the behavior of that minister. So we are like a double standard nation. I condemn the behavior of that minister. Now, should we condemn that minister because he's a man? And should we now say, oh, let's protect women because what has happened is to a woman? Iris Kayingo, for example, she was arrested. What's the difference? Or what's the difference between the video of the minister and the videos that are circulating now? So let's not be a double standard, a two-faced nation. Because whatever you decide today, for the government, for example, whatever the government decides, whether they want to keep her in position or not, or it will have an impact in future. Because everything that you do now will be a reference to future decisions. Just like we've had now referencing about this issue to the Minister of Education and Iris. And there was another one where the watchdog posted about, I think she's 17 or 19-year-old who had like porn on her phone and she was arrested. So everything that, there are decisions that you make now will have an impact to the future decisions. Now, where I'm saying like, where I stand as a woman, I feel sorry. I think it's unfortunate. And I feel she did that maybe privately, you know, whatever. It's none of our business. But since it's in the general public, we have to talk about it. And professionally speaking, the office that she holds, she needs to resign. The reason I'm saying she needs to resign is her integrity as a profession will be compromised. Say, for example, she wants to make certain decisions. She stays in the office, for example, we all say, okay, we've moved on. But there comes a point where you have to make important decisions that might maybe not sit well with the current government as a person in that position. Those videos are not going to go anywhere. They might be used against you in the future so that you cannot make right decisions when you're needed to make right decisions. Because yes, today we are celebrating to say she's on your side, she's fighting corruption, she's fighting the cliques of thieves, as you put it. But there'll come a time when Madam Mary Chirwa would have to make decisions in the best interest of the country. And deep down, she will know to say, this decision that I have to make has to be in the best interest of the general public. And then the people that have kept her in office might oppose that. Follow me very well. Might oppose that. Because these videos people keep, yes, they might stop talking about it. But what if those videos will be used against her integrity? Against what she needs to do for the benefit of the country. So let's not be short-sighted as a country. Let's not just support things anyhow. Because yes, it sits well with us. Because the person now is supporting our agenda. So even when they do bad, or they are found wanting by the law. Because in Zambia, that's everywhere, I think. That's why people resign, even in the UK. It's not morally right. On moral principles, it's not right. That's why you call people for resigning, especially when they hold so much big positions like they hold. Like she does, I mean. So what I'm giving you a picture in future because things change. Things never remain the same and things are not permanent. There will be a time when you Zambians, including my praise singers, would need Mary to make decisions in your best interest. And then the people that have kept her in that position will be there, maybe probably opposing that decision. What do you think Mary is going to do with those pictures there? Her integrity at the moment is compromised. It's very compromised. And trust me, if she stays in that position, we all know that she will have to dance to the tune of the government. Bruce Chileshe, let me add you. We all know that's what's going to happen. She'll have no say. Why does the connection fail? It's weird. Right. Oh dear. I don't know why the connection fails to white people. So that's where I stand. That's my view on the whole issue. The independence that you constantly talk about to say, oh, SCCA is independent, or the deck should be independent, won't be there. It won't be there. And for me, if she stayed in that position, I have no faith in, even if it's genuine, I have no faith in all the fights that they will be handling. Because why? The government that is in place now condemned the same things. So why should it be not condemned, or why should it be good? Is it because we know she's on our side, or because we know we can now order her to do anything we like, even if it might not be in the best interest of the general public? Those are the questions you should be asking in our pressing. Don't just look on the surface, hey, maybe she's ours, she's doing this. No. Zambia is huge. Zambia is too big. We're talking of over 18 million Zambians here. Not 2.8, no, not 1.8. So she is compromised, and that office is a very big office. So let's not be carried away. Let's not just be excited for nothing. Problem by 2.8, you're too excited for nothing, thinking what you're winning independence. No. We're trying to change the political environment in Zambia, the way to do things. Because sooner or later, you people, you young people will be the one that are going to be holding these positions, making decisions for the country. But if you don't have good references of how to run the country, how do you think the country is going to be like? We've got references now for the case of Mary Chirwa, of what happened. And we're referring to say, look, you condemn these things. Why shouldn't it not be condemned now? So I've spoken on the side of being, I'm all for supporting women, but I'm also for supporting what's right. Like, for example, let me give you this outlook again. This is very interesting. Say about DPP. Say if it was Madame Lillian Siyuni in this position. Say it was the DPP who was in these videos. What would my 2.8 be saying? No, because the DPP now, you don't like her normal. Because you wind her out of the picture. So her, she should just go. Even without having a full disclosure of information, you called her for her to go. But now you want to protect Madame Mary Chirwa for what? So you can use her as a puppet? If I was Madame Mary Chirwa, I would resign, because we said she's a very intelligent woman. And God knows she's obviously intelligent. And she's worked hard to be where she is. The last thing the Madame needs is for integrity to be compromised. That's the last thing she needs. The last thing she needs is to allow her for the mistake that she made to be used as a puppet, or to have those videos in future to be used against her and do something that is not in the best interest of the country. Because like I say, political parties come and go, but Zambia will always be there. So those are the things we need to be thinking about, to say, where are we headed as a nation? Give Daka says, by now the DPP could have been flashed out already. I'm telling you, should have been gone, and people would have been celebrating. But these are two women. There's a comment, hey, you are a woman, have you ever not sent nudes from there? I might have sent nudes, but they're not there in the general public, and I'm not holding a prestigious public office, am I? If I was in the position and my nudes came out, I would do what's best for the country. I would resign. And that's what we're saying. Because we don't want that office to be, and I think Zambia has got so many people that can do the same job. The president should do the right thing. Justin, good afternoon, Isa. The president should do the right thing, because his own party condemned this. I'm actually waiting how, if they're going to stamp on this, and I want to see how they're going to play this one out, because it's very interesting. It's really very interesting. But again, woman to woman, I feel the Madame should protect her integrity. It's her own integrity. And the only way to protect her integrity is by resigning. Not being fired, resigning. And she can move on with her life. Like they say, there's life after any job. Today you might be fired, tomorrow you might have a job. Or tomorrow you might be the happiest person, because obviously you start up your own things. But at the end of the day, you don't say you walk in the office and your colleagues, huh? How do you even like give out duties? How do you do that? Where do you get the confidence? When the people working around you know that this is breaking the law, it's against the law, but then they allow you in that position. Where are we headed as a nation? Those are the things you need to ask. If you want to do something right, do something right. Change is not supposed to be one-sided. If you're going to condemn things, condemn them. If you're going to appreciate things, appreciate the things. It shouldn't be one-sided, no. One rule for others, second rule for another one, no. That's why you will hate me, because what I stand on is, if you want to do unto others what you want them to do unto you. So by UPND more position, they never thought, it never occurred to them at one point that they will be in such a position they're in now. And the main position is the position of, those videos. Never occurred their mind. That's why unless anybody or dollar. So now God has showed us, and then we're going to see how are they going to handle this. Considering there's so much evidence on how they condemned everything. This is why I say appreciate where it's good, so that your works can also be appreciated. Condemn where it's bad. So that, you know, even when they are condemning you based on where it's bad. So, you condemned. But you want to act over, hey, no, she's there to stay. It's because it's a clique of thieves. Hey, because she's dealing with him over PF. Is PF the only people in the country? What about those girls that look up to that office to say, when I grow up, I want to be in that office? What are you going to tell them? Those are the questions you should be asking. So let's not just support because we are too excited, because we know, hey, Shana, Look to the future and ask yourselves where Zambia will be in the next 10, 15 years. And what references are you going to give in decisions? So but I think the best thing she could do is to resign. So the guy no, she's not the one in propaganda of PF. No. If you've not, especially if you've not even seen the videos, just stay quiet. Iris. You insulted her. That video never went away. She tried to change. How she was still. The lady has been the center of insults because of that video. At least video she had no interest to even go for, to join politics. She was not holding any public watch, but she went to prison. So let's not be a nation of double standard. There's too much hypocrisy in Zambia. There's too much hypocrisy. You resign. And that's where we need to be headed, because we need to know to say, okay, you need to know to let go. Leave room for other people. Let others take that position. She will not die, but the more she appears to that office, the more depressed and compromised she's going to be in decision making. That office does not need people who are compromised to deal with that. You need objectivity in that office. You need facts. It's like the court of law. They need facts. Fact finding, not more propaganda. No. Or working under stress. Well, she'll be working under stress, under pressure. She won't even have a voice to argue, to say about you are wrong. No. Because in as much people are saying, oh, these videos who circulating, they will at some point be used against her. Charo chino. Muntwala chinja. But one of the what? They want to arrange to protect you. They're not, these same things are being used against me again. So just to protect our sanity, just to protect our mental state, just to protect our own space, it's better you are healthier than depressed in a workplace. If we advise you. But we're yet to see how they're going to play this out. But methodical. Anyway, enough said about that. Let's move on, because time is not with me. So let's talk about the different reactions between yesterday's Bowman Usambo's seat nullification and today's Christopher Kangombe and Christopher Shakafuswa's reactions. But UPND, yesterday you were up and down, celebrating. If rule of law, Concord was held in high esteem. It was held in high esteem because Bowman lost the seat, which even today I agree, they did well to nullify that seat. Now we all can move on and, people can do by-election and see who they want to vote for. Today, the same Concord courts, what am I saying? The same courts decides and you dispute the decision. You totally dispute the decision. So I'm left with the party and church and whoever kwatama NRC Zambia ni mwevu. Whoever kwatama NRC Zambia ni mwevu and that with Zambians. You just want things to go your way. You're now disputing the courts. Disputing the courts, so tell lawlessness you. Nish lawlessness kama we are violent. Lawlessness in mwana kwati yati each time finger fya muni kumkuba lawlessness. The courts of people. Aba land. Aba sambirila law. Ama judges. But I decide to say, okay, based on the evidence we've seen, and this and this and this and this seat is nullified. You must celebrate. Yeah, the same courts, the same judges looked at other evidence, but they decided, no, it's not enough. They have upheld somebody's seat. Oh, wait, the fire. Hey, that's what you're saying. Now I got up on a bed desk. Yeah, no. You don't even understand the criteria they use to make such decisions. Apart from as a support, maybe. But you want to start now disputing one courts. This is why we're saying we want the judicial to be independent. The judicial, if the judicial is independent, whatever is happening there, we have to, respect that. Now listen, there was a difference in behavior When Bowman lost that seat and nullified, did you see my PF make noises or anything like that? They simply respected the decision. Yeah? You always say, oh, PF was violent. Your own violence, you don't see it. Today, the courts have made a decision. You start banging and making noises, disputing the judgment. This is what we are saying, two-faced nation. Because you just want things to go your own way. As long as it's not UPN's way, then there's no way. There was political parties before UPND, and there will be political parties after UPND. Everything has a beginning and an end. That's why there's a time to be born, there's time to die. There's time to be babies, to be adults, and to be old people. So don't think, everybody, even Bakaunda thought, everybody, no, and it's weird that you guys are not even learning from. If UPND can learn, take away anything from PF, it's the fact that you're not in that position forever. You can try to lie to yourself or shan. Time will come. It might not be in 2026, it might not be now, but time will come where eventually you have to leave. That's life. So let's not destroy our country by wanting things to go our own way. Let's be practical and let's be a forward-thinking nation whereby we look into the future when we make certain decisions. If the courts say you've exhausted your argument and everything like that, and the courts find the decision to be appropriate, who are you to dispute that? Because you are wearing a UPND t-shirt gives you the right to dispute the courts. Eh? And you're constantly saying there's rule of law. Which rule of law is that? Why you're disputing what the judges have said? The entire Concord could you must dispute. Who are you? Eh? No, let's respect our courts. Let's respect these men. We are not in the church upon a law. In Jamaica, shani. I don't mean to be nasty or whatever, but you know, you're just a supporter who probably maybe know manipulate and things like that. You want to dispute somebody who studied for years and years. Yeah? And this is what you need to know. People are not making decisions based on one individual. You've got probably members, lawyers that are obviously maybe even in support of UPN, and then sit together and say, oh, they argue, they are lawyers. Just look at the arguments from the lawyers. Because that's what happens. UPN are their own lawyer, PF are their own lawyer. They're representing these two people, Shagafuswa and whoever was your candidate. Then they're there in front of the judges, presenting facts, presenting evidence. And according to the evidence that your lawyers present, is where the judgment comes in. So what are you disputing? If your own lawyers accepted the judgment. So let's not just be overexcited for nothing. And this is why you find now you become too overexcited. From nowhere. The threats that you guys are giving people is not healthy for a country. And I've said this several times. If threatening people never work, the more you threaten people, the more they retaliate. Who could have known that Osama bin Laden or Saddam Hussein would be normal? They have been powerful people, but now they are gone and life has moved on. Those are the things you guys should be thinking of. You know, you don't want this environment for your children. It's an unhealthy environment. The environment in Zambia right now, it's so unhealthy. It's so unhealthy. You can't speak freely. Abuse. Freedom of association, there's no in Zambia. Takuri freedom of association. Hey baby girl, saying too unhealthy. It's very unhealthy. It's very stressful. It's very scary. It's very, very unhealthy. There's no way to live like that. Ordinary Renda says the problem is pressing us just support without thinking and understanding the issues. You know, there'll come a time I will pressing. Like I say, in our politics, I've started them looking at them. There'll come a time when press singers will need people to speak on their behalf. And it's coming because you've seen what's happening at Health Recruitment. The same people that you insult, you need their voice at one point. Things change. You want to wait. So I always say, yeah, PF might have started the smoke, but UPND, where they're going, you light up the fire in the country. And it's scary. For one, I thought, okay, we're going to be united as ever before. But to be honest with you, I don't see any efforts of uniting the nation being done. Because uniting the nation is about embracing each other's different views ideologies without being vulgar, without being abusive. You understand? Uniting the nation, it's the deeds that you do that unites the nation. Right now, there's more division in Zambia than ever before. Trust me, if there was any sort of unity, you could see it even on social media. You could see people being practical and being able to debate issues in a very respectable manner and without, being abusive to one another. That's why Facebook could show you to say, okay, Mudi unit. But no, you can see it on Facebook. You even have now social media pages in Zambia. I can even tell you, Watchdog is for UPND. Bankani is for UPND. Bambiniwesa. Kwa iwana imbi, Nkani, Watchdog, na isa imbi. You can see even through the different comments. But now maybe with time, baka change. But smart egos, Baba PF, but now, no, media houses shouldn't be like that. A media house is supposed to present information to the general public without malice or any sort of affiliation. That's what journalists do. This is why you see journalists going to war zone countries and film and soldiers or whatever who are in the war zone. That's how respectable journalists are. They will be there filming in Kondo, so, but the journalists won't be shot because the soldiers, they know how important the journalist is. Ishmael, no, I told you that. I've said time and time again, I am not that type of a person. I cannot circulate that video. That makes me not different, okay, from what I'm saying. So no, don't even ask me that. Don't even ask me that. Ask somebody else. I said it on this page. I cannot circulate such a video. So you've seen, even with the way they report information, you would tell the media house, why don't the media house yabana, the media house yabana, the media house is siding with Nabana. But the media house is not supposed, a media house should be neutral in the manner in which they gather information and the manner in which they distribute information to the general public. That's how it's supposed to be. Like what happens at ZNBC? It shouldn't be like that. Now you see some sort of information whereby this is Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation. This is the biggest media for the company, for the country. But even the certain information they give, why information it's not right. It's very dangerous. So you could see the division. So those who are saying, oh, Zambia is not divided, now we are shunned. Don't say that. Even if you because you know Chishinga and the land. Right now, PF, why? Because of the things I said. You don't want to open your mind to say, okay, maybe if you're lead direction, maybe in some way she's right or whatever. Or if she's wrong, say, okay, but you're wrong. I've always said some people are coming on this page that we have always been negative of this government. But the government in itself has always been negative of the previous government, and you want positivity to come into your way. No, let's bring balance. Negative, bring something positive. That's why I often in. Any negative you post about the previous government, I'll post some positive things. Any positive thing you post, I'll post some negative things. It's not healthy. We need to appreciate where we need to appreciate and condemn where we need to condemn. Not fiance. So there is division in Zambia. Now, I'm sorry I've admitted it. I've been trying to dive inside, say maybe I'm wrong or maybe there's unity whatsoever, but it's all over the place. And the reason I'm saying it's all over the place, the evidence is there. You could see how the UPND, the different celebration in the UPND supporters from yesterday and today. You could tell to say, it's not right. I want anybody to accept. Now you accept and respect the law. So anyway, let's move on to the teacher. Not teacher recruitment. Why is it that health recruitment hasn't made so much noise? Because teacher recruitment, so why is it like it's so quiet? Like there's less jubilation in terms of health recruitment compared to teacher recruitment. Why is it like that? So yeah, the list is out. People have been selected, which is good. But at the same time, people are crying the criteria that has been used with health recruitment. It's also questionable. Because for 3 years, I think those people should have been the first people to consider in the recruitment process because they've dedicated their time. Volunteer and working for free, probably And then mwasa I think it's not fair. I think for first priority, because then you know they truly care for the patients. They truly care and love their job. So to find that the volunteers now it's unfortunate, one day. That's not good. Another thing is like most of the nurses have a degree. And somebody commented to say, I'm a nurses have a degree. There's no provision for them for employment. Then why are you allowing universities to offer degree programs for nursing if you can't employ them? It's very confusing, because you want the educated, but then the same educated, you can't employ them. Why? And I think for people with the degree, you can still give them the same money you're giving to diploma until you can upgrade them to that position. You can come and upgrade them in future, but just letting them, because a degree, if you're doing like straight in wine, nursing for a degree in 5 years. In 5 years. So you don't 5 years, you say maybe by 25. Back to push your degree, you're talking of 30 years. And maybe more 30 years, you volunteer for 3 years. Or 33 years. And only 33 years, you basa bausha. We're talking of another recruitment. I don't think next year they'll be able to recruit more people. So maybe 2-3 years, maybe my elections. We're talking of 36. And then at 45, Munesha Avanto 45. Like what happened to the teacher recruitment? 45 and above, you don't want to put them in service. So those are the things you look at to say, also you look at the years basta spend more education. And then once because the party provision yama degree orders. You could have still given those degree orders the same salaries that the diploma orders are being given. And when the economy becomes better, I don't want to upgrade now to another salary. But just leaving them out completely, I think it's not fair on them. And I hope that can be looked into. Another thing people were complaining is the omission of clinical officers. And I wanted to talk about this because as a person that, is a person that's a health recruitment consultant, we have no provision for clinical officers. Clinical officers, So if these people are left out, those people that do clinical courses to become clinical officers, I don't think they can be employed anywhere else apart from Zambia as a clinical officer. Because I'm a doctors, I'm a healthcare assistant. Maybe if you come as a clinical officer comes as a care assistant, maybe in that manner, and then you upgrade to be a nurse, maybe in that way. But for them, there's so many clinical officers that I know that have done, and there was like adverts for clinical officers, but most of them have been left in districts. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is it that by clinical officer? Is it about clinical officer list delays at IMBI? Because I don't get it. No, it's not fair what they've done. It's not fair. It's not fair. Why do you release a list of health workers and then you say the other list will come out later? Why? If you had so much time to release that. So why advertise positions that you fully know that you're not going to, because it's not like they've employed people in those positions. They've completely omitted people in the positions that were advertised. What's the point? What's going on? What criteria was used in health recruitment? We're not saying it's a bad thing, but we're saying the positions, so meaning if the positions that were advertised are completely omitted in the recruitment process, we're not talking of 11,200. So that needs to be looked into. Because a lot of people said clinical officers, even though there was advert for clinical officers, have been completely omitted in certain districts. Completely so, not that completely omitted in those positions. Quincy just said, these people are creating pain in human lives. People had hopes to get jobs. It's true. In this hardship. And it's true. At least in the Kwanchimat, okay, there are certain clinical officers over today, recruits. You can't complain. No, completely omit. So like that. I think they should question that. You can't advertise a position that you're not willing to fill in. That's like, what do you call it? Forgotten the words. But you can't advertise a position that you know. That's leading, like you're leading somebody, giving false hopes to people that you know you're not going to fill that position. It's not fair. People use their monies to go and photocopy their papers, do what. With the hope to send as a clinical officer. OG says the whole thing makes one wonder if this is even a real thing, because too many mistakes with this whole process. I wonder if UPND not just playing politics with Zambians. It's the worst thing you can do. I'm a Zambians. Zambians in the Latina. playing with Zambians' minds. They might look useless, so but they're looking useless. Some Zambians are not as vocal as me. Some Zambians are quiet and act. Normally, when you are loud throughout, wait. Don't play with people's minds. People could have done something else if you just said, okay, the actual number we're actually recruiting is 5P, is 1P, is 2P because of this and this and this. We can't afford to pay a whole lot of people because of this and this and this. Simple as that. But you know the problem with fake information, you always have to find more information to cover up that information. So now, what are you going to tell these people that have been completely omitted when you advertise for these positions? People walk up, buy and then buy wanted transport, buy station shiny, buy find the shop photocopy, buy find all those things. Completely. Unless maybe there's another list that you're talking about that's not out, which I don't see why it should come out next week or the other week, because it's under health recruitment. So there's so much concern. Yes, others are celebrating, but at the same time, those that are crying, there's a reason they are crying, because it's not like somebody has been put in that position, but the position has completely been forgone. Life is hard and people have got hopes. So chawa muntu wamwe chinga to say we apata tureshita so ayashisha konga mata ayashisha kwashita ko bencha muri fimbi. Look how long people have been waiting and the list coming out like this. Is that fair? Look at how long from January abantu badala with so patient. Uno so 3 August. And then list the AFMO for if list. Is that fair? Is that good? The way the list has come out. And you don't want to question that. You must yes. But no, people are losing lives because they're losing hope. You know that list gave so much hope in people. So much hope. Just that pronouncement to say 11,200. So I like lunch tempo and 11,200 because why omit positions? Why omit to fill positions? Our leaders should be sincere with the people. Life is hard out there. You want to kwataka chito kumana kwatu ule complain audia takweda man. Which just says people are losing hope in this government and they are campaigning themselves. People are upset. Because in health recruitment, that you think upon a video, and teacher recruitment and this one go to health recruitment. Now it's a disappointment. You think upon we cut in 11,000. I think in Mozambique, all the same, can I ask, is it only in Zambia that people are employed without being interviewed? That's actually another good point. I think in Mozambique, you have to be interviewed before you're employed. But I'm trying to wait so you are saying, come to Yakama, so put it la Yakama. That's a tear, tell them. I feel for the people. I feel for them. And I'm not even, but I don't want to that who was sufficient. I'm not even in health service. I would teach wealthy. And God, I that we don't want. My father wanted me to go for either nursing, now teaching. That's how that in FT calling Yandif. Let me do some business because another thing, Mozambique. Stop sending your children to do this. Now, waiting for employment. How many private sector hospitals do you have? How many private schools do you have that are going to employ people? So to the Zambian parents, stop this system of because and at that time, the economy in Kaunda's time and now you can't compare it unless people were obviously educated. So there was so much vacancies. So our teacher those are the only qualifications because what you at employment you get like what you call it, help me out, protection, employee protection or career protection, cannot be fired. So a lot of people were rushing to send their children to do nursing or teach. So in nowadays more cash, they can health courses, teaching courses. Now I'm on FTT. Now in the pin now I graduate this year, I graduate next year. Now I graduate my brothers graduated, graduate. I think more 2023, but I got a plan for him. That I'm not worried now about his Overnight recruitment are not even in chatting all the way in the country. It's total shock. It's quiet. People have been shocked. Abasho kwa abantu kulolela recruitment yaza mafika. Job security is hard in Zambia. That's why the labor office needs to move in with job security. Protect your people. A lot of measures need to be in place to labor office. I want labor office. Because it's the same thing. I got a message about ShopRite workers, how much they are getting in this economy, plus transportation. The minimum wage in Zambia. How much they are getting for the Nazi, the minimum wage. Hello, in China. Health Recruitment. People are shocked. At registration, you policy register, completely omitted. At least the case of money. 6 months. Very patient Zambians. Hello, why patient I want to be? Very patient. Very patient people. David Lungu following the program. Aba patient abena Zambi. Hello, mwasa abashitawanya wanya. Hello, machaya. Na machaya. Abantu bakweosi. Aho yale mwashitawanya wanya. Firilo. Ifirilo so, efiriko. Batondo ero fe mwanzi fene po chinga dipirefe mpa bantu abalesta volunteer okubasha because umuntu abomba 3 years 0.19 umuntu atita volunteer basamusha bwe bantu bakwalesa once na ikaba na ikosa I'll continue clapping time for le tota mweba le tota bafu ya kalista strengisha so mwamona mure flex tika I'm sure no abashira bashokoresa nabe nabale celebrate sana. Listen, Zambia's current economy. Hey, you're just negative. You're just bitter. Hey, shine. Iyo recruitment knife. Knife man is different boy fuma. I'm sorry, but I need to laugh. Because I me about papa page. Mona question karibu tu hapa tafi yorosha. No, we're being practical. We're seeing where the economy is going, so and how things are being done. Tulewa kumisula kwa mtwe. So my dear sisters and brothers, imomo bashire. Nika plan B. Ero number 4 again. Plan B. Mwaponya because mama still apply. We are my positions. Bantu basambira umane sezi bamoma teachers amwato wera maboots. Because ngakwa natoka tuwelele kuri plan B since tuwashara tonka nyepo ka business place tamaya to baba boots. Ni mathematical. No mama boots we mwato bayo bala welera be. Awo bashiri. Bantu kwale but okay at least ngabansenda ngachita kontwani kani. Ngaleke inchi ya maboots mwaya to baba boots ya bantu. A lot of graduates, I'll tell you this, a lot of graduates in Zambia ventured into such business, EMA booths, to sustain themselves whilst they were waiting for employment. A lot of graduates, table finde Maya, mabatobera. Ya afu malist iyo. Tawanambika na papero. I know that I love him, but sometimes mwangu hapa abantu ngabalelanda.
Mommy. Can I have some chips?
You can go enough. People are crying, including the council people who have been sacked out of employment. Yo, I'm council. Ni change. Ni change to ayedi na fueve de mulumo. Ni change tira chinja. When I know how it feels to be unemployed. Because the problem with Ukudia, ni every day. Ni food, ni every day. David Lungat, when I speak at your bitter, someone who was not even at their breakfast telling me I'm bitter. How, where, which, what, when, mean, how come? At the Alamwan, the Chochinto, and they went to vote for them. Lance, nobody voted. Voted in a womba. You know, votes. I'm scared of what's coming. Doramika papero, so. Doramika papero. Oh, sure. I'll feed it on one day. Recruitment channel. Feed it up. Bantu na abasho kwa. Na abasho kwa bantu. That's all what they were expecting. Chimona kuna nikane kudi teacher recruitment. Do you know that they employed more of primaries? To understand why they employed because of the same free education they've introduced. But I'm a secondary teachers very show kwa. Our secondary teachers already show qua. There was no balance in the recruitment, young primary and secondary. Takwashi. Ba English primary, no matter secondary teaching, or show. Body show kwa, not no kwangala. But busy by Facebook, yeah, we've employed. We've shined. Now, hey, continue clapping. You've not seen anything yet. We have people that were doing volunteering under teaching and nursing in these institutions, but they've been left out like no man's business. Oh, okay. Quincy Joe. Frederick, I love you too. Feel it all. Feel it also. So start being objective in your thinking. I'm going to be objective. This is why, like I'm saying, you won't find me praising things for nothing. Apa people now ask, hey, Kaidi, hey, wako. Kuzo kwa mwene damu bakura muli 11 months. Damu ya menshi bakura muli 11 months. Nimbi yanchi mwako ata Mzambia. If credit where it's due, mundu alibomba. Tawa mafyonse yo muntu, but alibomba muntu. Mutasheni fi. Chari shupa fyo kumutasha. Chari nga. Ya kakana. Na olesa, midiotora. Kala midiotora one by one. Ina lesa ndamtina lesa. Lesa wamlinganya. Let's actually the power of the tongue and how people speak. I'm not seen anything yet. Just wait. It's 1 year for you. We need to start healing as a nation. We need to heal. And by healing, I don't mean to say, by healing, I mean appreciating what was good, what was done by somebody. That's where the healing comes in. Not so egoistic, egocentric. Hey, no. Didn't say I'm even about to go now. Good evening. No. Sometimes Chirumba washibika kwa side jenjua watasha afyo mnobe. Wa mutasha afyo mnobe. Ukesa na umbi. How would you feel if somebody that comes after you does not appreciate any of the efforts that you did? I got if kura kushoba ura. I got if kuchita kondem. I got if kuita, labeling you black. How would you feel? Even with the things that are there. Things that are there, you can see with your kolokolo eyes to say, God forbid you mention ECL. God forbid. My pictures are there all over. But what a storage company, they even wrote in 2020 when he was touring that place, they wrote an article of him touring that place. How is that? But God forbid you mention that. God forbid. You got to move away from that. So far in 11 months, how many things have you commissioned that was started by ECL? How many times have you given him credit? How many times have you labeled him black? It's a question, genuine question. Rosa just continue pumping in people's Mendura Blangata. They're busy doing meetings in the buildings. New Mulungushi, that PF built. It's them, the PF. God forbid you mentioned PF. God forbid. It's the Republic of China. In Zambia, and that shows you what Zambians are. You cannot praise your fellow Zambian for the good things. Praise somebody who's not even your fellow man. God forbid you mention ECO in any of the projects. And you say change. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here to be honest. But I'm here. I'm not gonna tell my children. I'll tell them to say, E project yambire mu 2016. No change your government project here in 2022. About the commission now, but that's the Zambia I want to live in. It's Zambia to give each other credit for the efforts that has been done. Now, if those top leaders can't even, they would rather go all the way away from Africa. Away from Africa. They would rather go away from Africa. God forbid you praise your own African man for the efforts. God forbid. You'd rather go and put it there and people clap. And people clap. Do you understand that it's a fellow black man that saw the fellow black man as a slave? Do you get that? When you get that, I urge you to go and watch this video, the movie, Amid. You will cry. You will cry, and maybe just then you have a conscience to appreciate your fellow black man, regardless of their wrongs. Do you know that even though those people that you're appreciating now, the colonists that colonized us in our country, that never allowed us to sit in the same bus, you'd rather praise them. God forbid you praise your fellow black man. God forbid you praise your fellow black man. It's a sad sight. And don't expect me to praise such a sight. Lungu never built anything in Zambia, but Zambian government. God forbid. That's what I'm talking about. Comment here. Godfrey. My son meeting back at Lungu never built anything but Zambian government. Okay, fine, my Godfrey. So when it came to budget, when you won elections, why was it PF budget and not government budget? My Godfrey. When you won elections and when you said we are working with the PF government budget, why wasn't it government budget? The projects are government budgets, are government projects. But the budget that you inherited, that you said you inherited, was not budget for the government. It was PF budgets. God forbid you mention ACL. God forbid you mention your fellow black man and you come here and say there's unity in Zambia. Eh? Hatred is too much in Zambia. It's too much. It's toxic. It's very toxic. The country is so toxic at the moment. The environment is so toxic with hate. At the government of Zambia. I'll ask you again. On whose policies? On whose policies did that same building built on? Who went to negotiate the agreements? On whose time was it? On whose time was it? On whose watch was it? I believe now when I see things that are happening in my country, which breaks my heart, I believe it's a fellow black man that sold a fellow black man away from his family as a slave for a few coins from people that were buying black people as slaves. If you watch slavery, you will cry. Not until you walk in somebody's shoes, you won't understand. And if you're saying you want to change, we've moved away. Slavery has ended. Slavery has not ended. Slavery has not ended. Except now we are in the modern way of slavery. If you can love your fellow brother despite whatever things they've done, that's a step to a new direction. Jesus was betrayed by bishops, not by kings. Same as Zambians are betraying themselves. They don't know that. Zambians don't know that. Zambians don't know they're betraying themselves. Not until it becomes a West to West. And God forbid, I pray to God, we don't experience what happened in South Africa and Zambia. I pray to God we don't reach that level. We've got time to change and turn around and be a peaceful nation. Because God forbid we experience anything that our neighboring nations have experienced. We're so divided as a nation. We're very divided. And it's unfortunate. I even have my friends that work for certain people that they can't now even work in their institution properly. That's why people are being taught in the institutions. That's the Zambia right now. It's scary, the Zambia right now. We have chance to turn and walk in the right direction. But I'm saying all these things, not because I hate UPND, or because I want to side with PF, or because I'm saying it as a citizen of the country that I love. Ask any member of PF. That's why even when you want to do to my propaganda, you never find my name in there. You never find my name in there. I've worked hard by myself, my own money. So you can say whatever you want. Hey, my slave queens, my handouts, you have the right to say that. But what you don't know, it doesn't even really bother me because you don't know me. You just see me on Facebook here saying all these things. But at the rate where we are, where we're standing, they may have a shink. We need to start loving one another more. And it starts with the leaders. You know, not love your fake ya camera, no. Love your brother. Not in a man natching papish. If you man appreciate to if you are one better you I'm on night. How now for watch the praise? Because nobody invited you on this. Godfrey. Even if you don't praise him, it's fine. It's fine. Development. Finish off all the land. This is the kind of hate I'm talking about. You can't reason beyond. You know, everything you do in this life has got an impact later in life. You are Godfrey. to a person that you even least expect. You know, people that help us in life, the people that we don't even know. But because of the good deeds that you've done in the past, when you least expect, that's life. Continue on the path. It's your rights. Development. I'll continue. It's your rights. Now I'm going to prestata. And the truth is, they're way better than your life right now. Development. A problem, I hate talking about the tribe thing. I hate it because I know how sensitive it is in Zambia. But every now and then, that's the kind of comments you get. Why are you commenting that? When I've talked about loving each other, being together, appreciating each other's effort, you're a closed-minded person. Not one yo. Musevanya Kuruba Godfrey. Godfrey, Geoffrey. Card, we're not going to comment you. Please. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I've spoken for 2 hours. My good Lord. Good night.